The eAssist Dental Solutions podcast. We are the nation's leader in outsourced dental billing. Our clients require highly skilled dental office managers that can consult with client offices.
Welcome to the eAssist Dental Solutions podcast. I am your host, Andre Quintana, and I am here in the state of North Carolina. I am so excited today because we have an expert in practice management, team cross-training specialist, a speaker, and an author, Miss Kelly Lynch from Sanford, Maine. Kelly, how are you today?
Well, hello. How are you, Andreas? I'm great.
I am doing great because I am here on the podcast of eAssist Dental Solutions, and we are, we're a happy company. We love to help people, and I just want to remind you and our audience out there that we have won the Inc. 500 and been awarded that award for 3 years in a row. And I just couldn't be happier for Dr. Anderson and everyone that has made this possible at eAssist. But enough about eAssist, because today we are going to focus on you. Are you ready to let our audience know a little bit about you?
I am. I'm excited about this. This is wonderful. Thank you for the invite today.
Absolutely. And, I want to start by saying that I am truly honored to have you, and you are the owner of Platinum Practice Solutions. And I understand that you have a book that you are very excited about. So can we talk a little bit about that?
I would love to. Thank you.
How long did it take you to finally get it out, Kelly, and get that book out there for dentists to really enjoy in their practice?
Well, it's been a work in progress for, I want to say 2 or 3 years now. It wasn't until June of this year I sat down and said, you know what, I've got to get this out of my head. I've got to get it down in writing. And so I finished it, and I found a great opportunity to get it published through eAssist Publishing. And it is just been a dream to get this done and to get it out to practices that can benefit from it. I'm very excited about it. It's one of my prouder things that I've done, besides having my children.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I am so proud of you because, we here want to pick your brain and find out, what was the experience like? How did you actually get it out to advise other potential authors?
I ran into Dr. Anderson and Marcy at a recent SCN meeting that I was attending, and was talking to them about my, the book that wasn't finished. And they had mentioned that they were doing a publishing branch of eAssist. And so I looked into it, and when I got back home from that meeting, things just started happening, and they started happening very quickly. And I found the process to be extremely easy, and everyone was very supportive and very helpful. I mean, this is a first-time writer here, a first-time book being published. I didn't know what to expect. And they really, really made it so easy for me to go through the process. And they took care of everything for me. So I was able to get this book proofed, edited. They worked with me on the graphic design. They worked with me on the setup, and they got it out to Amazon for me. And now it's available to anyone who wants to learn a bit more about how to elevate their dental practice through patient-centered care. So the title of the book is called 10 No's, K-N-O-W-S, 10 No's to Get to Yes. And it's elevate your dental practice through patient-centered care. And that's what I focus on when I work with my clients and my customers, is really focusing on the patient-centered care to make them unique from all of the other dental practices that are around them.
And let's make sure that our audience out there knows that is K-N-O-W-S. Why
Correct.
nose? Exactly. Why the nose? Why is that so important to you?
Because the no's are, no means no, but these no's mean yes. Once you know these no's, these ones will get yes every time. So we want patients to say yes to our optimal treatment presentations. We want patients to say yes to coming to us for their dental care. We want patients to say yes to, good, healthy smiles and healthy mouths and coming for regular cleanings and checkups. And we want them to pay their bills. So we want to know the no's to get to them saying, yes, I'll pay my bill. And yes, I'll do this treatment. And it is all in their best interest. So there's nothing sneaky about this book. It's right up front, and it's telling people, you just really got to get to the heart, the mind, and the thought process of your patient. And once you do that, and once you're consistent with it, and you've got a team that's on board with it, the yeses come.
The yeses come. Wow. I know, right? That somehow we are going to get back to the book. But now let's dive really deep about you, because Kelly, I know you're going to agree with me. eAssist, we do the dental billing. And you know why we do that? It's because we really want what you teach to really come out and be the center of attention. We can outsource all the other things that make a practice function, that make a practice perform behind the scenes. But Kelly, you focus on what the patients see.
Correct. I agree 100%. Yes. And they can see more when the practice is actually able to put more focus on their patients instead of the tasks that get in the way that need to be done, but you really would prefer to spend more time with your patient than dealing with the day-to-day tasks.
Excellent. And now, how did you decide to become a coach and a consultant, and why?
Well, that's actually a funny story. Back in 1995 or 1996, I went on my first dental cruise. And there was this lady, you might know her. Her name is Linda Miles.
I heard the name, yes.
She's the guru to all of us that are out there doing speaking and coaching. And she was up on stage and she was presenting to the teams and the doctors. And I looked at the team I was working with at the time and I said, I really would like to do that someday. I really feel that I could get out and help other practices do this. And so for 20 years or so, I've been saying, I'm going to be a consultant. I'm going to be a coach. I want to work with practices to make them better. I'm not afraid of public speaking. I want to be a speaker so I can get out there and I can share the really good parts of being in the dental industry. And if you ask anybody that's known me for the last 20 years that I've worked with, or even my family, that's all I kept saying is, I want to be a coach. I want to help other practices, and I want to do this. And it all started with that one cruise, and watching Linda Miles up on stage, doing her magic, And I said, I want to do that someday. So in 2015, I said, you know what? I'm creating my own company and I'm going to start doing this. And the timing was perfect. So here I am today.
And that's great to hear. You said something key in there. You said magic. What I think is magical here is that, I like going to people's website, by the way, and yours just speaks so much about you, so much important information. If you ever get a moment to visit the website, we'll give it to you later. But you said something that communication is the key to all aspects of life, and how we communicate with people can make or break relationships. But what I really love about this so much also is that you said, so why is it so easy for some and so difficult for others? Can you speak about that?
Sure. A lot of people really don't focus on who they're talking with. They don't focus on the actual listening to the person that they're talking to. So they're missing key elements of what people are saying to them because they're listening to respond or they're listening to hurry up and get it done. And they're not listening to respond in a way that is going to get the understanding that's needed for the patient to move forward. So knowing your patients, really sitting down and listening, and they'll give you the keys, the clues to what they need in order to say yes to your treatment or in order to say yes to your financial options. And it might be something as simple as, when I was a child, I had a really bad experience with the sound of the drill. And that whole part of it was I had a bad experience is all that somebody might have heard. They didn't hear the sound of the drill. So when it comes time for treatment, they're not taking that into consideration and helping that patient be comfortable by maybe giving them a headset or, offering them something to listen to so that it distracts them from the sound of the drill. When you're dealing with patient-centered care, you've made a note of that. You've heard that, and you're able to tell the patient, I know you're nervous about this filling. We brought out a headset for you to listen to some music. We have these options. Which would you prefer? And the patient's going, wow, they heard me. So by communicating and listening, that is the difference between, having it be easy for some and very difficult for others. And, does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. And that speaks to something that you also talked about earlier in our conversation, is that you elevate your dental practice through patient-centered care. And so when a patient all of a sudden feels like they've reached the practice that they belong in, this is the patient care that we're talking about, correct?
Correct. And these are the patients that will be loyal to you, and they will, regardless, everybody can find a way to take care of payments for certain things. And then, you make it financially feasible for them to do that. But patients will come to you not because of, that you're the least expensive. They're not going to come to you and stay with you because, you're just down the street. People will actually travel for a good distance if they find a practice that they can be loyal to, that gets them, that understands them, that works with them. And, I hear a lot of practices, we're losing patients because of insurance. They're changing practices because of this, or they're doing this, and patients are leaving because of whatever reason. And my first question is, so A, how are you attracting them? What kind of marketing are you doing? And B, what's going on internally? Why are they leaving? Why are they not coming back after that first or second visit? Has anyone stopped to find that out? And you'd be surprised how many people come in and then they're never seen again because that relationship was not built immediately on that first visit.
And there's something also magical about you coming together with eAssist, is that we offer a tool, which is to keep the things that belong behind the scenes back there behind the scenes. And you focus on that magical thing that the patients see. I think it's really unique that two entities can come together and together form an alliance. So I'm really, really excited about this, which brings me to my next question, which is about how long, and I think you may have mentioned it before, but in those maybe 3 or 4 years that your practice has been open, what is one of those, the most that you hear about the pain that is out there when dentists are running their practices?
Oh. Well, when I started my practice, I opened it up in January 2015, and I was still working full-time, running a practice locally here. So what I would find when I would go out and do my speaking and do my presentations to various groups in the, basically I was more in the New England area to start, what I was finding is everybody was looking for more new patients. We really need more new patients. And yes, every healthy practice should have a level of new patients coming into their practice on a regular basis. But when I sat down and was talking to these other office managers and practice administrators, I was asking them questions that when I got the answers made me very sad. And sad in the way that, there's a lot of practices that think new patients are the fix-all to everything. And when I asked them how many new patients they were getting, on average, you get anywhere between 10 and 20 new patients a month. And I'm like, that's a healthy number. And how many of them are coming back for a second visit? And no one could tell me. Mm-hmm. And how many are accepting your treatment? How much treatment is being accepted? And all the questions I was asking, they weren't able to really answer. So what I find is new patients are important, but how many are being missed because the phones aren't being answered properly? Or how many are not coming back because the financial options weren't discussed with them in a way that they could understand? Or the treatment plans were so overwhelming that they didn't even know where to start. So when I looked at all of these things that were being, when I considered all of these things that people were talking to me about, I was like, wow, there really is a vast market out there for any coach, any consultant that can help these practices really focus on, once you get them in, they chose you for a reason. Now you need to get them to become the loyal, happy, paying patients that you want, that are going to talk to all their friends and family and all their social media hits and tell them all about you. So it's really huge in creating the culture within the practice so that when you do get those new patients in, you're actually retaining them.
That is amazing. For everyone out there, we are again joined by Kelly Lynch of Platinum Practice Solutions. Kelly, can you let everybody know how to contact you?
Sure. My telephone number, I give out my cell phone number. It's 207-490-1040. And my website is www.platinumpracticesolutions.com. And you can email me at the same address.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And we are eAssist Dental Solutions, and you can simply visit eassist.com or dentalbilling.com. Now, I saw that you offer individual coaching based on the needs of the practice. And you have a quote that says, "Your practice should be unique." What does this mean to you?
A lot of coaching companies basically they have a cookie cutter program. And regardless of the specific needs of each practice, they, will go in and do their programs based on the systems that they have in place. What I like to do is I like to go into a practice knowing ahead of time a little bit about each individual in the office. So I send out a questionnaire for each team member to complete. I send one to the doctors to complete, and then I get those back. Then I go in and I do some observations. I actually watch them in practice, watching them with their patients, watching them with their telephones and the skills and so forth. Then I create an action plan for the day that I go in and actually sit down with the team and the doctors. And we work on systems that they are in specific need of, not what might be on my agenda for the day.
That's right. And so am I understanding that the dentist can go ahead and develop his or her skills, right? Instead of you doing it for them, you watch them in action and you get them to see what they're capable of and what the teams are capable of. Would that be an accurate statement?
That would be, yes. Every time I get somebody that says, oh, well, we just need communication help. We just need to learn how to talk to patients. And then I get in and it's like, okay, it's not just the communication help. It's not just they're not getting new patients, it's because they're not communicating with each other, or they're not sure, what systems should be implemented for this department, or this department's not talking to this department, and so on. So it is very individualized, and I do have set programs in place, and I do have set systems that once we implement them, they are in place. But, I don't go in with just, okay, day one, we're going to do this. Day two, we're going to do this. It's very individualized. Okay, we need to focus on this specific issue or situation, and then we'll move on to this one because it just makes the most sense.
I think that's a beautiful thing that you just shared, because you touched on it earlier. One of those hot topics is dentists wanting, doctors that want new patients, but you could be getting 80 to 90 new patients a month, but if you're not watching the amount of patients that are leaving your practice, what good is to get so many new patients? So you come in and you kind of identify also what may be the amount of new patients that a practice should be aiming for, combined with the ones they should be retaining. Isn't that important as well?
Absolutely. And that's the key to it is, yes, you can get 80 to 90 new patients a month, but if you're only getting 5 of them that are coming back for a second visit, or 10 of them that are coming back for a second visit, your marketing should be focusing on a specific criteria. And, you want to market to the masses as much as possible, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that you truly have the systems in place when that phone rings and when those patients come in. And that's where I'm finding a lot of these practices that want more and more new patients, they're getting the calls, but they're not getting them in, or they're not retaining them once they're there. So it's very specific to each location, looking at their marketing, looking at what they're doing, and, hopefully trying to get it to a point where patients are actually referring their friends and family more than you have to worry about marketing outside. You're more internal marketing than external.
And Kelly, what I really, really love about that is that no two practices, no two locations are exactly the same. Okay. In dentistry, there is nothing predictable about dentistry. There's a lot of stress in the day, right? But you take all that stress out of the day. I believe that. But some doctors can close their eyes, right? And the patients just flow in. It could be the location. It could be the really beautiful shopping center. And some of them struggle to get them in. Right. So this could be a podcast for another day, and I have a feeling we're going to be doing this again, by the way. But this could be because you brought the marketing element into this. How many doctors are probably over leveraging themselves, with expenses and marketing to get all these new patients, and all they really, really need to do is just make some tweaks and some team building activities that Kelly can provide to get the patient in and have a wow experience. How does that sound?
Yeah, that works. That's exactly it. I know that's been kind of the phrase for the last decade or so, is creating the wow experience. But when it comes right down to it, that's what you need to do. Individual dental practitioners, the smaller offices are not dead. And contrary to popular thought processes, corporate dentistry is there, but the independent practice is still very much alive and kicking. And what their focus needs to be on is getting away from worrying about what the corporate offices are doing and focus on internally what they're doing for their patients, because patients want to be taken care of. Patients want to feel like they're a part of something. They want to know that when they come to you, they're in good hands. They trust you, and they'll pay for that. And I see it all the time. I just left a practice that was very, very strong in patient-centered care. It's an individual doctor, 2 hygienists, and 2 fantastic assistants. And I'll tell you, from that first phone call until they leave that day, the patient is catered to. The patient is the number one priority, regardless of whatever else is going on in the practice, because the systems are there and it works very well. And that's the kind of things that I like to bring to the people that I work with is, once those systems are created, they're not cookie cutter. They're not scripted. I don't have a ton of scripting. Oh, you have to do this by this. Once they get that and they get the confidence that they know that what they're doing is going to make a difference, it makes all the difference in the world. And patients really do appreciate that.
I love that. I love that. And another thing I wanted to share with you and our audience is that I have an all-star hygienist. Her name is Susan, and the practice I'm associated with, and she is very connected to the community, and said so-and-so came for the first time, and she loved our practice. And I said, Susan, can you really tell me what it is she loved about it? She says, she said she didn't know. It's just the way she felt in here.
Right.
That feeling she felt. So I know you have a lot to say about that, but I'm going to get a little personal with you here now. Can I? I'm excited because when I read about you and I just met you for the first time, when I read about you, I saw somebody that performs at a certain level all the time. And I think that's really important for you to have that level all the time, because this is something that you teach dental teams that they need to always have at all times when they are performing. How does that play a role, what you teach and who you are, on those doctors that you serve every day?
Well, that's a really good question. And, it's a multi-part answer. First of all, if you love what you do, it's not really work. And I truly love what I do. I wouldn't be continuing to do this. I don't need to be doing this. I choose to do this because I feel very passionate about doing what I do. I have a very high expectation of myself to the point where I want to make sure that what I'm delivering is accurate. So my research is there. My science is there. The skill levels I bring are there. And when you go into a dental practice, let's be real. All right. Not every day is a hunky-dory fun day. You get stress, but when it's a team of people that understand what each other needs to move through some of those stressors, that's where you get the difference. So when you have a team that knows, okay, Susie might be having a really bad day. She might have gotten some really bad, news before she left for work. But when Susie got there, she let everyone on the team and the doctors know, you know what, guys, I'm going to do my best today, but this is what's going on. I'm really going to need your support to perform to the best of my abilities today. And so everybody will be there for Susie. Everybody will be checking on her to see how she's doing and make sure that, yes, even though she's got the news that she got before she started work, she's going to be able to make it through the day, and they're there to support her. So that's the kind of cohesiveness, the kind of culture that I really like to bring to a practice, because everybody's going to have a bad day, and not everybody's going to want to be on for 8 hours. But in this business, unfortunately and realistically, we have to be, because every patient we deal with is that one person that we've seen. That's their first time with you, or that's their hour with you. They don't know what the other 8 hours have been like. We have to be on for that, but knowing that you have the support of your team is critical, and that's where the whole culture comes into play. And it makes a huge difference when people can just talk to each other and be very real with each other.
Wow. And I have a feeling that your phone is going to be ringing so much. So this is another perfect time, Kelly, to share that phone number once again. Please.
Okay. It's 207-490-1040.
That's great. And we are eassist.com, but go ahead and your website too.
Yeah, you can email me at Kelly, Kelly, at platinumpracticesolutions.com. And my website is www.platinumpracticesolutions.com. And I'd just like to interject one thing here, too. I I tend to get to that feel-good moment where I want to, let everybody know, I want to make your practice feel good when patients walk in. And I want to make your practice feel good to drive into that parking lot and get out of your car and go into work in the morning, knowing that whatever happens, it's going to be okay. But I'm going to get real. I go in there and I want to see what's going on in your practice. I want to help you, get more new patients. I want to help you increase your production and reduce your AR, and help you get to that point where doctors can start actually paying themselves, and doctors can actually start taking home a paycheck. There's so many practices that I've seen that doctors are not even paying themselves. They're paying their bills, they're paying their team, they're paying their overhead, but they're not even taking home a paycheck. So that's a huge part of what I do. I not only go in just to make everything feel good, I go in to make everything feel good and help doctors and team members sleep a little better at night.
Yes, and getting paid, trust me, it makes everybody feel good. So
doesn't getting a paycheck feel good?
Yes, it does. It does.
Hard work.
Perfect time to take a little break just for a brief announcement from our friends at eAssist. We'll be right back.
You know your practice is losing money. You just don't know why. Office managers are often overwhelmed with juggling insurances, patients, scheduling, and staff. eAssist Dental Solutions has the answer. By outsourcing your dental billing efforts with eAssist, your patients become your sole focus. With eAssist on your side, you will feel the burden of insurance collections lifted off your shoulders. Visit us at www.dentalbilling.com today to find out more information.
So we are back again on the eAssist Dental Solutions podcast, and I'll tell you what, I am excited about ordering your book, The 10 No's, KNOWS, to get to yes, elevate your dental practice through patient-centered care. Wow. Are you excited as I am excited about this book?
Oh, I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. This book's been in my mind and in my head for years. And to finally have it out of my head and in print where it's tangible and I can see it. And when I opened the box from the first order, I actually smelled it because it was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, my book. But just to know that it's available and just to know that, practices can get this and they can pass it around or buy one for each member of the practice. We used to do book club readings in practices that I worked in, and we would buy a book for everybody and everybody would read it, and then they'd go to lunch and pick out certain parts of the book that they really liked and explained why they really liked it. So to have this as a tool for practices and to have this as something that I can leave as a legacy for the passion that I feel for this industry is just amazing. I'm very proud of it. Very proud of it.
Great. Thank you. And how long have you known about eAssist and all of the wonderful things that we do to help doctors reach their goals in their practices?
Yeah, I actually was introduced to eAssist about 2 or 3 years ago. I was at an ADOM meeting where I'm actually a fellow of the American Association of Dental Office Management. And I was at an ADOM conference and was introduced to eAssist there and all of the wonderful services that they help practices with. And I just knew right away that this was going to be a company that I would want to research more and learn more about. And I'm so glad I did, because the services that eAssist provides to practices, those tasks that I was talking about earlier, those are the things that eAssist helps with. And that's just a little minute part of what they do. But they are able to remove the insurance and remove the billing and remove all of the tasks that get in the way of team members being able to focus on the patient, and they do it so well. That's the thing, is eAssist does it so well. Their system is just amazing. So, I definitely, every time I run into a practice that is, so insurance heavy or so billing heavy, that I'm like, you need to outsource this. You need to get this to a company that can help you with this and just get it done. And then you can focus on getting your patients in the schedule. It's a great company. I'm very impressed.
And I was going to ask you that, about the difference that eAssist has made for some of your clients. But if I can just tell a little story, 2 years ago, we had a change in our team, and someone that, really loved working for us for personal reasons. We're the type of practice where we embrace our team as family. And when they need something, when they have a personal issue and they need to cut back from 45 to 15 hours, we can still do that. We can still do that, have a relationship and be friends, and we did that. But with everything that I do, Kelly, I knew that my collections were going to suffer. Not even talk about the stuff that was already in the aging, kind of the big cloud out there that I call it, that I didn't think I could ever recover. eAssist came in, took all my worries away. Dr. Quintana was coming into work really, really happy. And the rest is history. And now I'm here with eAssist talking to you, which people are meant to come together. We can also talk about that later. But what differences really has it made in some of your clients?
Just in helping them to reduce their collections, in really helping, get the money in, get the billing in, get the insurances verified for people, get the billing done. I love that they're doing medical billing now, which is the new thing. Everybody is going into medical billing. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is, at some point, dentistry billing is going to be medical. And to see the resource available now to help practices get over it, because I'll tell you, when medical billing first came out, I was looking at my doctor going, I am not going to be able to do this. Mm-hmm. I do not understand medical coding. That is not my thing. And for them to be able to say, okay, well, let's find somebody that can do it. And to be able to say, oh, I know a company.
Yes.
I know someone that can do that.
We do it in such a way, they just need to know the dental codes. They don't have to learn how to do medical.
Exactly. Makes it so much easier. Exactly. So, that has been huge in, my ability when I am talking to other office managers or practice administrators. I say, check these people out because they definitely know what they're doing.
And speaking of knowing what they're doing, all right, let's get something straight here. You are a part of the American Association of Dental Office Managers. What is
management?
Yes.
It's management now. Yeah.
Now management. Wow. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I have been, I'm an executive member, which means I'm basically a lifetime member of the American Association of Dental Office Management. I have been with them for 12 of the 13 or 14 years that they've been together. I received my fellowship with the American Association of Dental Office Managers, ADOM. And I was awarded in 2016 the Practice Administrator of Distinction Award. So that I'm very proud of. I've got my trophies up in my home office for my fellowship and my distinction award. I'm a member of the Speaking Consulting Network, and I also have numerous certifications with different agencies. I'm certified in corporate training. I did corporate training for a retail company for many years, and I also worked in a hospital for a couple of years doing management there. Actually helped run an ER, and I had 21 people to supervise. And if you know, there's a huge difference between supervising hospital people and supervising dental offices. So a lot more red tape. I'm certified in healthcare cash management. I've been to the Las Vegas Institute for Advanced Dental Studies twice on 2 different terms. I've done numerous restorative, hygiene, and team programs with them, so I'm very proud of that. And I'm also a graduate of Walter Haley's Dental Boot Camp, levels 1 and 2, which I did a few years back, and really, when Walter Haley was alive, and just loved him to pieces. And, so I take great pride in continuing my education, and I do numerous webinars, and I go to conferences and do courses. So even though I just retired from the trenches, so to speak, this past year, I still make sure I stay up to date, because you have to. It's an ever-changing world. And, I'm a dental geek. What can I
say? Well, a true all-star and a true rock star is what I would call you. So thank you for all of that, because we may have doctors listening to our show, honestly, and I really love it that you get it. You get it. It came through in your voice. It comes through in your book and your website. What is your best advice for someone that may be struggling today in their practice to get to that next level?
Oh, best advice. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to struggle through it yourself. There's a lot of people willing and able to help you achieve the goals that you're looking for, and to help you make a practice, make the practice that you're in the best that it can be. And there are companies like eAssist. There's myself. I would love to, even do a 30-minute phone call with any doctor who might be interested, just to go over what's going on with them and see, what I could bring to the table. But there's really no need in this day and age to reinvent the wheel and try to do it themselves. That right there will add more stress to their day than anything else. They're there to be a doctor. They're there to take care of their patients. They're not there to learn how to take care of all the rest of it. Let someone help you with that.
Beautiful. And for my eAssist Nation audience out there, if you could do me one favor, and anyone listening, I love social media, please go to Platinum Practice Solutions Facebook page today and like the page. And that is facebook.com/PG/Platinum Practice Solutions. And interact with Kelly on her Facebook page, like the page, and let's really get Kelly all the recognition that she deserves.
Aw.
So
thanks.
You can reach us at eassist.com. Kelly, this was really a beautiful thing today that we got connected through Marcy, who is going to be on the podcast. She's going to be pretty soon. And we are going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about the ambassador program at eAssist, and we're going to talk about a top doctor award that we have rolled out to bring doctors the recognition that they deserve. How does that sound?
That's amazing. I mean, they are just, to be a dentist nowadays, I just think is the most amazing thing, because talk about adversity. I mean, you've got the insurance companies against you. You've got, corporations against you. You've got people who don't like you. Every day you hear, I don't like the dentist. I don't like going. These people are changing people's lives for the better. They are creating the confidence. And it just gives me goosebumps. The magic that they bring to their patients, and the confidence that they give their patients. And they're saving people's lives by diagnosing oral cancers early. It's just such a wonderful industry to be in. And I'm just so proud to be able to be a part of it.
Well, goosebumps on every level. You're giving me goosebumps today, talking about the things that I so much believe in. So there you have it, everyone. You have heard a fellow of the American Association of Dental Office Managers, a lifetime member of ADOM, and a 2016 Practice Administrator of Distinction member. Her name is Kelly Lynch. Kelly, I really want to thank you for coming on the show. It's time to say goodbye, and I just want to remind everybody to download our podcast, give us a review, and go to our Facebook page at eAssist, talk about it, and listen, download. Kelly, thank you so much again, and I want to wish you a great week.
Thank you so much, too. It's been a pleasure, and I really hope you have a wonderful week as well.
We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the eAssist Dental Solutions podcast. We love to put the spotlight on the individuals for their outstanding work for our clients.